What's up, guys? Chasing Lamely here with episode number 12 of our F1 Manager 23 American Dream with Haas F1 team. We are going to Hungary today. If you missed the last episode, go check that out. It was an absolute mess, if I'm completely honest. We had an absolute mess of a weekend. Either way, we've got 11 days till we go to Hungary. We have no money in the bank because I've spent it all and we're in a lot of trouble. So things are going really well here today. We could see some good things happen. We've just done a vote on the new regs. We'll show you the outcome in a second when we get it. Hoping these sponsorship obligations are going to bring in some money because we're in trouble. I think we will attend that because losing an extra 100 grand isn't going to hurt us, but it might boost our reputation a little bit. That was sort of the thinking with that. We'll go. You see, we are in debt. We are struggling for money. Money is a problem. I don't think we're going to be doing a lot of development between now and the end of the season because we can't afford to the point where, in fact, we don't have any parts. It's gone well. Okay, it's fine. We'll manufacture them as we need them rather than anything else. Our investment in design centre has run its course. Didn't actually do anything. We for those who missed the episode, we spent $1 million on this, and it was going to increase the design centre effectiveness by 50% for 4 days. It was going to give us a whole bunch of extra staff and stuff. We actually never got the extra capacity for any of that. We didn't get it through at all. It just didn't work. So we won't be doing that again. It went well. We've manufactured some new side pods. That's nice. That'll help us out with something. Design centre fire. Are you absolutely kidding me? Luckily, I don't think we're actually designing anything, but we'll have to approve the pause. So I don't think we were actually doing any designing. So it shouldn't have made any massive difference, and if it has, we were doing no designing anyway. It's fine. So I'm looking at that. I know I can't afford it. We need to get some money in the bank. We need to get money in the bank. I can't wait till the end of the season when I can sort out the actual income, outgoings, that kind of stuff. That will help us all out. Something's in the inbox that's important. I'm not sure what it is. It's regulation results. So teams are in favour of the change to spotting regs. I thought they might be because it essentially involves more wind tunnel time for teams who finish 6th and above, or 6th and below, sorry. Which I'm actually for. I know we're sitting in 5th, so it doesn't actually affect us, but it affects more teams than it doesn't. So I thought we'd go for it, and hopefully that will give us a more competitive series going into seasons 2, 3, etc. That was the hope. So we are fast approaching race day. Hungary is going to be a struggle. Let's rebuild our cars so we know what we're going into this race with. We should have a new side pod too, so that should be nice. We'll install it on that car, and we'll have the old one on car. We are going to have to build some side pods as soon as we get money. Underfloor we'll just replace because that's not a problem at all. We'll have slightly different cars on each side of the garage. That's nothing unusual for us so far this season anyway, so that's fine. And we'll swap out the suspension for, I guess, a new one. It's going to have to be an old one. There we go. That's gone badly. Let's put that on car 2. Install on car 1. What am I doing? I'm trying to do car 2. I know what I'm doing. There we go. We'll do that. Okay, that's fine. As I said, as soon as we have some money, we'll build some things. That will be absolutely fine. Right, looking at the analysis for this weekend before we go into the actual race targets. We go to rank on grid. Looks like we're finishing 9th, and we'll change car to car 2 and see how that looks. 9th and 13th we'll take. Okay, so when setting race targets today, I think we're gonna guarantee a car in Q3. K-Mag has a bad time. It's not going to happen. We'll say both cars in Q2. That's fine, and we'll say qualifying position of both cars in as lower position as it will let me go, 15th, there we go. That'll work out, I think, for the money side there. In terms of a race finish, I'm going to guarantee both cars. I only guarantee one car in the top. That's a good promise. We'll do that. We'll go with that that'll work out. Right, let's have a quick look at the inbox, just make sure there's nothing interesting in there. Race preview. Carlos Sainz has done a thing, and Max Verstappen leads the Drivers' Championship by a point, which is good. Okay, right, let's. I'm gonna go and do the race weekend start of, and we'll come back for the race in a moment. So shall see you shortly, hopefully when I've got my teeth in. So we've got qualifying in the books then, and George Russell takes pole for the Hungarian Grand Prix, Max Verstappen in second, Fernando Alonso in third, Sainz and Leclerc in fourth and fifth, then it's Stroll, Gasly, Perez, Ocon, Magnussen the lead of our drivers in 10th. We've got Norris in 11th, Piastri in 12th, Nico Hulkenberg takes 13th, but that grid penalty for Piastri of course will bump him up. We've then got Alex Albon, Lewis Hamilton all the way down there in 15th. It was an interesting qualifying, very mixed weather, and if you didn't get out at the right time, you were going nowhere, which is why we're in 10th. I just completely botched the timing of that last run. We've got Valtteri Bottas in 16th, Sargent in 17th, De Vries in 18th, Tsunoda in 19th, and Zhou Guanyu brings up the rear in 20th. So without any further ado, I'm going to hand you over to Karun and Crofty, and we'll see how the race shapes out.
The teams are making their final preparations down in the pit lane, ahead of today's race.
The heart may be in Budapest, but the racing soul is right here. Decades of F1 history saturate every turn of the Hungaroring, including the 1989 Grand Prix, where Nigel Mansell bullied his way from a P12 start to an ultimate victory.
I'd love to know, Karun, your thoughts on Kevin Magnussen so far this weekend.
I don't think there can be any real complaints over their performance so far. They know what's expected of them and they're making sure to deliver.
I wonder then what the Hungarian Grand Prix has in store for us on this occasion.
So Karun and Crofty setting us up beautifully for our lovely trip to the Hungaroring for today's Grand Prix. So I think what we need to do right now is look at our strategy, because that's going to be really important for this race. Because it was an ATA qualifying, we have got kind of a mixed bag of tyres left for both drivers. It's going to be an interesting one. We need to see if we're going to get any rain. So we'll have rain all weekend. Looks like it's passed, which is nice. Let's see what these strategies are saying, shall we? We can have, soft, medium, hard is apparently fastest. Let's have a little look, though. Just because I think we may have a set of mediums left for Kevin Magnussen. I'm not certain. If we do, we'll have a little look just to see if we can make a two-stop there work. It's not impossible, we can. Let's have a little look at that. What does that do for our timing? That's 1:32.08. Let's see what that looks like in terms of comparison. Slower, apparently, is the answer. Okay, that's a good answer. We'll stay there for now. I just want to have a look at what tyres we've got left, because I have a feeling we've got a second set of fresh softs, do we not? We don't, apparently. Okay. That's going to work out fine. We'll go with that strategy for K-Mag. Let's see what tyres we've got left for Nico, because obviously he did miss the final qualifying session. He's got 3 sets of softs. We could do something really special with that. If we've got the option here, we'll see what we can do with that. It's saying let's have a little look at what a. We'll start with that one because we know that's what that's doing. It's just as quick to do two hard stints. Or sorry, 2 soft stints with a hard. Let's see if we can do 2 soft stints with a medium, because that could be paying out for us if we're lucky. It doesn't look like we're quite going to get there. I don't think. It looks like that would be slower. We'll ask. We'll ask the strategy gods what that says. I think it's probably going to be slower. It is. Okay, so I think we're going to go on to a soft, medium, soft. That could work out nicely in our favour, I think, as well, because we can push the soft tyre a little bit harder towards the end, and then maybe extend on that middle stint. That might work out for us a touch, possibly. Let's aim for that, and obviously if things don't work out, then we'll switch it up, because that's what we had the bow to do. In terms of fuel, I think I'm going to play it safe today, because that does feel like it's a slightly stronger decision. Just kind of play it out as safe as we can with fuel. We're going to go and use full ERS. In fact, we'll do a lap of 4 fuel burning as well from the start, just because we will gain it back. And then that should hopefully give us the strategy we need to get that going. We'll do the same with both drivers, actually, because that's probably a really strong move. We can afford to go a lap or so down. What are we saying is the fuel per lap? 1.5. So if I wait till we get to 1.5 down, I think we can we'll wait to go a kilo underweight, and then we'll build it back up from there. Obviously slightly more fuel for Nico, but that should be fine. Right, either way, I'm going to go hand this back to Crew and Crofty, and we'll see what they've got to say for themselves before we go to the grid.
There's a fantastic atmosphere at the Hungaroring as we prepare for 70 laps of the Hungarian Grand Prix. Many people here and at home are wondering what the Haas driver can do.
There's potential for them starting 10th. If luck goes their way in the race, they could move up the pack.
And the time has come. Let's go racing. And here we go with the Hungarian Grand Prix. And it's lights out.
So it's lights out there, and away we go, and we will get this this car noise down to a bare minimum because it will just be distracting us in the background. Otherwise, I'm going to get Kevin Magnussen ready to aggressively overtake, and I'll do the same with Nico because we like that to be a thing. And we'll see if we can get up the grid. Nico's already made a place up, which is beautiful. He is on the rise, which we want to see. He's got himself up past Lando Norris. Yellow flag out there for something behind us or ahead of us. There we go. George Russell off in the gravel. And he may have ended his race. I don't think they'll bring out a safety car. I would hope. Let's see what happened with George. He's had a spin, apparently, is what's happened. He was riding, of course, in the front. So this will be extra disappointing for him. He's just lost the back end coming around turn 3. And yeah, he's going from first to last. And really, really struggling to find a way back into this race. I don't think we're going to see a safety car for that, though. I think that's probably not going to be a thing. Looks like he's got going again. He's 3 seconds adrift of Show Guan Yu, though. So he's got some work to do now, has George. Hopefully he's not done any damage. We'll see how that looks once he comes back from, once he gets around the track to the pits. He is making up that time, though, so it looks like he's done no damage to his car. And we've got K-Mag in 9th now, Nico Hulkenberg in 10th. So things really looking like that's really helped us out. Put us in 2 points paying positions, and both our drivers should be in a really good position for this one. I'm thinking it might be battle assist time. That may be a thing for us. We'll battle assist it because otherwise we're just pushing for no reason, and they could make up some places here. So we'll try and make the best of that. We'll go on board with Nico Hulkenberg. We can see what's going on with K-Mag from there. Max Verstappen, of course, sets the fastest lap with no one in front of him, and he's probably going to leave Fernando behind. Looks like George Russell has stayed out, so no damage for him. He's just going to be fighting his way back through the field. I'd be shocked if he didn't make it up into the points from there. It's very possible when you've got a car as good as his, good enough to get on pole, to work your way back up through into, you know, that top 10 should be achievable. So we need to get at least one more place made up. Obviously, if someone ahead of us was to go out, that would make that a bit easier, because I think the only other person, well, the other cars ahead of us that could make it through the field if they need to from this point on are going to be the Red Bulls and the Ferraris. I don't think Alonso could do it even if it came down to it. I don't think he's quite got the pace to make that stick. But our drivers have been separated. Now they've separated themselves a second from each other, which is not going to help once DRS becomes active. And it's kind of a shame, because I do really need for Nico to be kind of playing leapfrog with Kevin to bring them back up to Perez. But it's okay, we can settle in here for a lovely 9th and 10th. That would do us fine, as long as George Russell and Lewis Hamilton don't make their way back into the points. I think we'll be okay, but I think actually we can afford to do a quick zoom here, because we're not under any threat right now. I think once DRS becomes a thing, we might get there, but we're going to be okay. We've lost our ERS for Magnussen. In fact, we'll take it off for both drivers. That's a really good idea. Just let them build their way back up now, because Magnussen is in DRS range of Perez, or was in DRS range of Perez, and Hulkenberg isn't in DRS range of his teammate, which is a real problem. But he has dropped Lando Norris, so we're doing okay as long as Magnussen and Perez can stay close to each other. Maybe Nico will have a chance to catch up. Does look like we may be a little bit out of touching distance for this one, though. I think we're probably going to fall back we'll see how it goes. We'll keep an eye on things, but we're just going to keep zooming through. I don't mind us having a quick episode today. It looks like Magnussen is destroying Nico, but of course Magnussen's got all the new parts in his car. Hulkenberg's still driving with the older parts because we couldn't build any new ones. We are back up to where we want it to be fuel-wise, so we'll get that back onto a balanced and hope that can do something for us. I think Nico is going to fall back into the clutches of Lewis. I think if we go off-board, we'll probably very quickly see Lewis on our gearbox. But actually, I think him trying to get into the points could be really helpful for us. So, maybe we can kind of horse and carriage our way through and we'll see some progress that way. That would be quite nice because Lewis is going to do us coming through the start-finish straight for sure and probably get himself fairly quickly onto the back of Magnussen, but I'm hoping that Magnussen being in DRS will at least hold off that battle a little while. We can stay maybe with Lewis and work our way back into the points contention. That would be really nice for us if that was a thing we could achieve. I'm going to give you some sweet, sweet car sounds because we haven't had any in the background. We'll see how that goes. Lewis not quite getting it done into turn one though, unfortunately. That's not really helped us out. So, it's okay. We're doing fine. Tyre-wise, we seem to be running a little bit warm with Kevin Magnussen. I think that's just because we're in dirty air, because Hulkenberg is not having the same issues, so that would explain that. We'll keep on board though with what's going on behind us, because it looks like Lewis is looking to line up a move. It's very hard to overtake here at Hungary, as we all know. So I guess we'll have to see how that looks, because it might be that we're just going to hold up Lewis for the entire first stint, which would be a problem. I say for the first stint because even if we pit at the same time, frankly, that he's going to come out in front of us because our pit crew just isn't that good. If we get undercut, we're in trouble. I don't want to try and undercut on him, though. I don't think that's it's going to work out too well for us, especially because we're so marginal on Nico's tyres. We're just going to have to see how this goes. We really are going to have to see how this goes. I feel like Lewis is going to line up a move very soon. He's got to be getting frustrated with holding up behind us. How is Nico's confidence looking at the moment? He's looking fairly confident. He's a very high confidence, good stuff. That's what we like to see. And in terms of Kevin Magnussen, he is not wanting to go onto protecting his tyres just yet. That wasn't what we were looking for at all. I thought we'd held on to the place. They've come very close there. That's not helping us at all. And we have been passed in the DRS. It's okay though. I don't think it'll destroy Hulkenberg's confidence. He's still up from where he started on the grid. And I think he'll be able to stay behind. So we'll be okay and hopefully be okay, I should say. I think Lewis will have the overall pace to maybe get in touch with Kevin Magnussen, but I think it's going to take him a few laps. I think Nico is just about going to be quick enough to stay in touch. It's going to overheat his tyres a touch, but I don't think that's going to be a big problem. How are we doing on the tyres? Well, we are doing okay there, and on tyres for Nico, we're okay. We're on target. We're okay. We're doing fine for this one. We are being dragged up towards Kevin Magnussen as well with Lewis. That's good. We'll get into a zoom mode, I think, because Magnussen's overtaking Pierre Gasly in all of that. Let's see how that happened. He got close enough to DRS him up the inside. So I didn't even see that coming. Through up the inside, and he's got. Is there a problem maybe for Pierre Gasly? Because he was well ahead of Sergio Perez for a second. I didn't see any indication he'd gone off track. So maybe he's having some kind of issue with the car. I don't know, but it's okay. Like I said, we can also leapfrog our way up towards Perez if we need to. I don't mind playing alongside Gasly for a little bit if that's what it takes. But we are dropping him, so that's okay. Either works well for me. All the points we can get is good for us, and Hulkenberg does look like he's starting to lose touch with Hamilton. I think once Hamilton gets onto the back of Gasly, we'll start catching up with him. Just a touch. We're going to roll things forward though, because we are sort of keeping in touch with Ocon. Perez making it past both Alpines. We are probably about to go for an overtake on this lap as Hamilton's taking Gasly quite easily. Is Hulkenberg going to surprise us all and maybe take Pierre Gasly as well? Do we have the pace with the older car to get past the current Alpine? The new car we know for sure does. I don't know if we do with the older car. If we do, that's going to be a revelation for the Constructors' Championship. because all the points we can get, quite frankly, right now is going to be the answer, because we're going to be stunted for development for a little while whilst we're trying to rebuild the cash reserves. We're on lap 13 now, so we'll see how things go here, see if Magnussen can find his way past Esteban Ocon. We'll go on board, shall we? Go to the T-Cam, see if we can get this done through this DRS zone or the next. I'd like to think we are good enough under DRS to make our way through. He's trying to break the toe. That's always a good sign. Magnussen coasting on Ocon. Ocon knowing we have got him if we need to. We're looking at the inside again. Not quite going for the dive bomb. Very close to the rear wing. He's on the mediums as well, which is going to be... And if you ever actually looked at what the tyre situation looks like, it looks like softs are the tyre to be on right now. Mediums should start coming back very shortly. I think the two Ferraris probably going to find themselves in trouble soon. They're pushing quite hard. They may be going for a soft, hard stint even, or a soft, hard medium. They're definitely trying something a little bit outside the box on this strategy, but we having a look maybe up the chicane, not quite, but Kevin Magnussen certainly feeling a little bit racy, it's safe to say. I am going to give him the ERS boost in just a second. I think that's going to be a really good idea. Hulkenberg looks like he's not quite catching Gasly yet. Maybe we'll give him that extra boost as well. We'll take the battle assist off. We'll just go full deploy and get him into that battle. And Magnussen as well, because he is in a good place. We'll keep battle assist on, but we are going to see if he can deploy his to get past Ocon and maybe push himself up the road back towards Perez. That would be nice. And then obviously once we've burned out the battery again, we'll go back to saving it back up for us. But see what we can do here under DRS. Get ourselves pushing hard. Have a look at the inside maybe on Ocon. That would be ideal for us. We're going up the inside. We've taken it. We should get a second bite of DRS here to pull ourselves away. Hopefully push the big button for the ERS, and gives the impression it's like a giant red button on our desk. We push the ERS button and maybe get ourselves up towards the back of Perez, leave Ocon behind, break that DRS on this one lap. We will have ERS4 for sure, and see what we can do here. If we can break the toe with Ocon, we will be in a really good position to hold on to 7th for the rest of the race. I would think that would be a really good place for us to be, and we're obviously cooling our tyres down whilst we are in clean air as well. That will help us out immensely. I think things are looking really good just in general here. Hulkenberg, I think, is probably hoping for someone to have a problem ahead of him to get into the points at this stage. But we've dropped Lando Norris quite cleanly, and we're building the gap, which is nice. We may even be able, by the time we get to the second round of pit stops, we may have a clear pit stop between Hulkenberg and Norris, so we can be in a position to take advantage of any mistakes that might happen. That would be ideal. Let's start saving our ERS back up for Hulkenberg, and we can probably actually do the same now for Kevin Magnussen, because we've built the gap to Ocon. We should be clear, and we can just roll the things forward now until we get into our pit window, which should be coming around lap 20-ish, I believe. So we can't be far from it. Hamilton has made his way past Magnussen and all that, so there's pace in the Mercs. It's got to be said, there is pace in the Mercs. Didn't even need DRS to do it, as far as I can tell. I did use DRS, so that is just coming off the DRS straight. Got up the inside of turn 3 and made his way past. But, again, I think we can stay with Lewis. I think staying with Lewis is going to be really valuable, as Carlos Sainz is the first man to dive into the pits. He's finally had to give up on those tyres, and Charles Leclerc, I'm guessing, must be close. I don't know if his tyres are going to make it to the end of this lap without him losing a lot of time to Lance Stroll. Alonso and Verstappen are currently having a fight for the lead, which is curious. That's going to be an interesting time ahead of us. We'll see how that one shakes out. Sainz is going to come up behind us. Is he going to come up behind... He's not going to come up behind Hulkenberg. Hulkenberg should be able to see him, though, which is nice. There's a yellow flag up ahead somewhere. I think it's up ahead. Who has dropped out? In fact, it's George Russell, I think, has had another off. George Russell having a very rough time. He's come out somewhere in the back somehow. He must have car damage, because there's no way he should be dropping those places. What's happened to Nick de Vries here? He's just locked up and put it very close to the wall, if not into the wall. Yeah, George Russell must be having a really torrid... Is George Russell just come in for a pit stop? Is that what's happened? He has just come in. I was going to say, there's no way he ended up that far back without making a pit stop. And we're holding on, though, to Lewis, which is good. Ocon trying to get himself back in the fight, which is obviously been aided a little bit by our fight with Lewis. We'll go deploying again, I think. See if we can get ourselves back up to and maybe in front of Hamilton. Just annoy him a little bit. Because it never hurts to be a little bit annoying. And if we can pull that off, we will pull that off. That's going to be the answer to our question. See how it goes. I think Lewis may be coming in a few laps' time. I think it's because the mediums have come back to him is why he's managed to get away from us. We've got DRS though, so we're looking good. And cars are starting to come in now. Leclerc, Verstappen in. Anyone going to fall behind us? No one's going to fall behind Hulkenberg. So the gap's just building. We are staying close to Lewis. We're going to try and hold on to his coattails for as long as we can, because that's going to be really key here. I thought Hulkenberg might get a little toe of DRS off the back of Leclerc, but he hasn't quite achieved that. That's fine. He is staying there though, which is nice. This we can see Ferrari red in front of us. We've not been dumped entirely out of the running, and Lewis is catching up to Sergio Perez, which is good because we are staying with him. Not necessarily brilliantly with him, but we are staying with him, and we've got a big enough gap between our drivers to double stack, which is beautiful. That's always a benefit to us. So I think things are coming up Milhouse a little bit, to be honest. They're coming up really well for us. We'll try and keep Magnussen as close as we can to Lewis. I don't know if we're going to get DRS on this lap, but we've stayed in touch. We've dropped Ocon again. That's what we're looking for. Perez has come in for a stop, which is probably a good sign. We're going to drop that down to neutral now, try and save up the ERS again. And I think we're going to be in this lap, potentially, or the next one. We'll see when we cross the line, because it will tell us if we're on optimal lap. We're not quite on optimal lap, apparently. We'll be on optimal lap next time around, which is good. Perez and Gasly in the pits. That's moved Hulkenberg up, but of course Hulkenberg does have to come in. Sergio Perez has had a pit stop issue, so I guess we'll see what happens with Sergio. I'm going to say jack issue. That's what I'm saying. It is a jack issue. He's not been dropped in time. They've not released him properly, and that's gone really badly for him. So that will help us out. Sergio Perez is going to be stuck behind us for a little while, and it looks like Gasly's got passed by Norris. So has Perez, which means that, frankly, Perez will have to fight his way through, and so will Gasly, and that might be the break Hulkenberg needed to get into the points-paying positions, which is nice. Carlos Sainz is coming through very fast on us. We're about to see him pass us. I have a feeling possibly coming out of the chicane. I would not be surprised if an overtake was about to happen. Looks like he's lining something up, and it looks like he's brought Max Verstappen along to party with him. Ocon not far behind as well. So we could be in trouble. We are going to pit probably the next lap around, so that's going to be a thing. In fact, let's... shall I call an audible, because we are about to lose our tyres? I am going to call an audible. I'm going to bring both our drivers in this lap for their next stop. We will go on to mediums for Kevin Magnussen, just like we planned, and we will bring in Nico for his hard start. It may be I'll go to a set of mediums at the end for this, but we'll see how it goes. We're going to go in for hards this time around, and then we'll play that last stop by ear, just to see how things look, because we can always say the tyre's been squeezed out there as we do it by a fresh tired Carlos Sainz, but we are coming in. We should be okay here for a pit stop. And like I said, we should be able to get the double stack done. It looks like we've lost a little bit of time to Lando Norris. So this is probably a good time for Hulkenberg to be coming in. Hopefully the guys aren't going to have an issue here. We would like a nice, clean, smooth pit stop. It doesn't need to be a quick one. Just needs to be a smooth, efficient pit stop. That would do us nicely. We're up, we're in, tyres are changed, we're dropped, we're out, 2.7. That will do us. Let's see how Nico's pit stop goes, because that's going to be important. It looks like Magnussen's going to filter out somewhere just outside the top 10. In fact, no, he should come out ahead of Albon, 2.8 for Hulkenberg, so no problem there at all either. He's going to get overtaken by Albon, but we've got at least one car in the top 10. He's come out very badly there. Have those cars stopped? Piastri and Gasly, have they stopped? Piastri and Albon haven't stopped yet. So we're sort of as you were. George Russell is finding his way back in. What tyres is George Russell on? George Russell's on hards. That was sort of expected. But we should be okay, because I don't think Russell's going to make up that gap in a hurry. We can kind of just let this one roll for a little while, I think. We'll see how things shake out once we get through the pit stop phases, because that will make all the difference. There's been a spin for Logan Sargent, that's dropped him back. George Russell has got past Nico Hulkenberg and actually has dropped him. Yellow flag, several cars involved. Let's look at the overtake before we look at what happened there. The overtake was just a simple DRS one, that's not a problem. Let's have a look, see what the multiple car crash was. Lance Stroll was involved, and looks like Sergio Perez may have been involved here as well. Who's going to be at fault here? I think probably 50-50, if I'm honest. That could have been 50-50. There's going to be some damage somewhere on one of those cars. I'm not sure which one, but it looks like the stewards have said that it was a Lance Stroll error, which feels harsh because it feels like that could have been anyone, quite frankly. Both McLarens are in. They're double stacking. That's curious. I could have sworn one of the McLarens had already pit. Could have sworn one of the McLarens had already been in the pits, but apparently they're double stacking them. We'll see once Piastri comes out. I thought he'd been in already. It's fine though. We've moved Magnussen up into 8th. That is pretty strong. That's going to help us out a lot. And if Stroll and Perez have got damage, we may be able to take them on track, which is going to be even better for us. Looks like it was the first stop for both Mercs. So both McLarens. They've copied what we were doing, which is nice. They've seen the light. Looks like Perez and Stroll are sticking together, but they're not coming in, so it doesn't look like they're going to be coming in. They don't seem to be losing any time to Kevin Magnussen, or at least not losing significant chunks of time. They're in fact dropping Magnussen, so that could be a sign, and we'll see how that goes. It looks like neither of them are in. Hamilton, on the other hand, is in and will come out back behind us for sure, unless I'm about to get really surprised at pit exit. He's had a pit stop issue, so that's what's happened there. He is going to come out behind us, and that's probably helped us a little bit. Probably helped us out a little bit. We're not really in any battles right now though, and Albon's going to come out just ahead of us. He's going just behind. Nico Hulkenberg. He's going well behind. Lando Norris is going to pass him again. We're going to zoom forward. That's going to be a plan. Albon's had a pit stop issue, which put him behind Logan Sargent. And it's kind of Noah's Ark at the back. You can kind of see the tiers of teams there. It's definitely a thing that's going on there. Hamilton overtaking Magnussen again. I'm not overly worried about that because I didn't think we had the pace to fully keep up with a lot of yellow flags flying. Lance Stroll is going to have to serve a penalty. Guan Yu Zhou has done his usual lockup, so that's gone well. I should have a look at the minimap in regular time to see what's going on there. Looks like Sainz has started lapping people. He's found his way up into first, which is actually quite impressive given that it's Ferrari doing strategy well. But it looks like we're okay for a little while. We're not going to get lapped just yet. We're just really trying to stay in battle with the two Alpines. If I'm honest, I think we should be able to achieve something with battling the Alpines. We should be okay. But we're going to see how that shakes out when we get to the back end of or to the final stint, because that, I think, could be where the difference gets made for Hulkenberg. I think Magnussen's sort of locked in the top 10 now, probably top 8. I think it's all about trying to get Hulkenberg in for his a fast stint on the hard tyres. That's going to be what we're looking to achieve here for the end of the race. We'll see how that goes, because obviously we are going to be moving his pit stop forward a touch, I think, but that's okay. We're looking good. Magnussen is holding on tight. I don't think he's going to find himself with Carlos Sainz heading on that pit stop. Gasly's pit again to put himself behind Hulkenberg, and if we can maybe grow that gap a touch. I mean, a safety car would be magic right now. A safety car would get us in 4 fresh boots for both drivers, and we'd be able to get to the end. We're on optimal lap for VSC. Kevin Magnussen has brought out the VSC, and I don't think he's going to make it back to the pits. He's retired because he's burst his tyres. Beautiful. Nice job by Kevin Magnussen. Let's have a look at that, see what happened there. Has he had any contact with someone maybe, or is it just he's just lost the car? Just lost it. And that, I think, just looks like he's just had a puncture, frankly, which maybe I should have been paying closer attention what his tyres were doing before that happened. Maybe that's my fault, but let's hope not, and let's see if Kevin Magnussen can do something with this now. So Nico Hulkenberg do something with this now. We've got a VSC. Where are we in? We're a long way from the pit lane. We are up into the top 10. DRS disabled. I'm just thinking, is there a tyre I can get Hulkenberg to the end on from here? Because that I need to make it. Right, let's go to the strategy screen. Let's do that before we make any changes. Let's just have a little look at the strategy screen, see if a set of mediums to the end is viable now. Because if a set of mediums to the end is viable now, we are probably going to go for it. If we can. I don't think we'll refresh that hard to put on. I mean, let's see what mediums. If we do that on this lap, will they go to the end? Just? Maybe? Should we give it a go? I think we should give it a go. There's nothing to lose at this point by giving that a go. He'll be on fresh mediums, so that will work out nicely. He should get some places back. I don't think anyone ahead of us is going to be on fresh mediums. They might all be going for the hards. We're under a VSC as well, so this could work out if we can make it. If we can make it stick, we are going to see what the VSC looks like when we get to that pit entry. That's kind of my my guiding light here. If we can, by pit entry, get ourselves in and out for a free pit stop, we're going to do it. But it's all going to be about whether it gets removed. Let's do it. We should be able to get in and out. And if we can't, that's on me. But I feel like it's achievable. We'll try it out. Why not? Try it out. Let's get in for a pit. Did that not stick? Did I not make that work? I did make that work. I confirmed the pit stop. Good. Okay. Let's get this done. Let's get into the pit lane. Let's see if we can get a good stop. That's going to be really important. And hopefully we'll get through this. But Nick De Vries is apparently 2 minutes behind Kevin Magnussen. That's probably not right, but that should at least give us a good idea of what's going to happen. George Russell and Max Verstappen have both come in. Max Verstappen right behind us coming in. So he can't have been far off lapping us. That's a slight concern. Is anyone else going to come in for mediums? That's the real question, because I feel like George Russell has come in for fresh mediums. I feel like Max Verstappen's probably coming in for fresh mediums as well. That's going to be likely. I feel like Albon and Piastri are both going to come out on fresh mediums as well. So we'll see how that looks. Verstappen has lapped Albon and Piastri. That is a concern for me, because he's got a free pit stop and is likely to be looking to lap us. And yeah, that's going to be fine. It's all good. It's all okay. We are 6 seconds behind Norris, but we're on better tyres. We should be able to get through to the end from here. It'll be close at the end of the race, but I think we're in a good position. What are we looking at? The rear wing of there. Is that what Zhou Guan Yu? We're looking at the rear wing of there. It looks like it could be. So we are lapping traffic, but also probably on the verge of becoming lapped traffic. What's that looking like to the leaders? I mean, they're all a lap behind. Verstappen has lapped up to Piastri, but as I said, we're about to lap Zhou Guan Yu. So I'm assuming that's Zhou Guan Yu. It looks like it is. Yeah. So yeah, he's not having the race of his life, is he? In fact, let's now I'm thinking about it, because we've got a VSC. Let's do some conservation and some harvesting, because there's really no need for us to be pushing ourselves to, I say, just as the virtual safety car ends. But that's okay. We'll go back to pushing the tyres, I guess. That will help us out anyway. We've had our lap of virtual safety car, and we'll do a deploy now. Sure, why not? Let's get on the back of Lando Norris as fast as we can and get ourselves going. Green flag is flying. We have extra fuel to burn. Maybe even be able to get ourselves a sneaky fastest lap, as long as Max doesn't claim one, which he, let's be honest, probably will. He'll almost certainly claim one. But we'll see what we can do. We're going to try our best to close that gap on Nico Hulkenberg. We're not actually catching Guan Yu Zhou that fast, which is probably a problem. Let's go on board, see how that's looking for us. There we go, right there. Now let's put that into 1 time speed. We'll go on board. We still haven't managed to lap Guan Yu Zhou. I mean, he shouldn't be able to keep us ahead. He's got to be getting he's got to be getting blue flagged by now. and he needs to be getting blue flagged, honestly, before we get caught by Max Verstappen. That will be nice, quite frankly. Yeah, this field's gonna kind of fold itself in half, is the looks of things. I don't know what happened to Zhou Guanyu. Oh, he is still there. Is he trying to threaten Lando Norris? Perhaps he's trying to overtake Lando Norris. That'd be brave if he did. I think he has, unless he's behind us. No, he's now behind us. Good. Okay, well, we're now in a battle with Lando Norris, so we're going to get DRS here, and hopefully we'll have the pace to get ourselves caught right up, which would do us nicely. He's doing a bit of a weave, and that's fine, because we're going to have the traction out of the corner. Hopefully we'll get into the next corner and get past him, and then we can start trying to chase down Pierre Gasly for some points. Looking very good here on the overspeed. Can we go the inside here? We've got the room. Just got the room. We're going to try and take it, squeeze him out. Jobs are good. And, oh, they've come together. Oh, my word. Oh, my word. Okay. Well, we're going to have to come in for the new front wing. Is a set of softs going to get to the end from here? That's the big question. 30 laps. Just, maybe? And realistically, we need to do 19. Let's do it. We've got to make up the time somehow. We'll see what happens when we get the replay. We're about to get absolutely done by everyone. Let's see how badly Lando screwed that up, because I'm going to assume that Lando Norris was the one that made the mistake. We had the overtake. We got it the inside of him. Fair and square. Oof, I think maybe that was us. Maybe that was us. Maybe we might be serving a penalty here. We may be about to serve a penalty. That could be it. Let's see what Lando's saying. We've not had anything from any of the drivers. Very sketchy rejoin. Looks like nobody's getting punished for that. Okay, we've been punished in terms of track position, but also, as I said, the field seems to have sort of folded itself in half a bit. It's going to take a safety car, though, for us to get ourselves any points today, because we're in a lot of trouble. In fact, let's not push our fuel whilst we're in trouble with damage. We're going to get ourselves back in for the pit stop and hope for the best. Lando also, of course, having to come in. Didn't want to have to make this extra pit stop, Lando. Cheers for that, but we'll make the best of it. I hope Lando doesn't jump us in this pit stop. That would be horrendous. Come on, guys, let's get this done. He's just got run over by the car there, stepping through it. Beautiful. That's a really slow tyre stop, boys. Really slow tyre stop, but... Oh, come on, that didn't look good at all. That looked like we had a delay on that pit stop, and I'd like to have seen that from above. We've only lost one position, though, so... Well, two positions, but I feel like we'll probably catch up with Alex Albon fairly quickly. Let's push back on the fuel now, because we are going to have to try and make it to the end. I don't know that one. Apparently someone wants to have their say, and that's gone really well. So we'll turn Alexa off. That's a good idea, because she apparently wants to put her oar in. Okay, good stuff. Right. Anyway, let's push this forward, shall we? And we're going to hope for the best here. We have to really push to keep Logan Sargent behind us at this point, and he's passed us. Is the damage to the car perhaps worse than I thought? That's the question, because he's got past us there on hard tyres. That's a real question. Okay, let's see. Looking aero-wise, what else has been damaged? Suspension. That's probably why we're not making that gap back up. I think we may be in serious trouble, quite frankly. That car is not looking like it's in good condition. We have to just try and make the best of it here. Trying to be one of the cars that gets lapped twice would be ideal. We are staying with Logan Sargent. We're not a million miles out of this, but I don't know. It's going to take a miracle, I think, for us to get up there. What are we saying on our tyres right now? We should barely make it to the end, is what we're saying on our tyres, so I can't even push the tyres for an advantage. We're just going to have to hope for the best. I think Lando's probably going to catch us as well, just to really put salt in the wounds. Should have been a double points finish today, and we've kind of got screwed a little bit. which is, yeah, it's not the one. It's not the one. But at least we've got a little bit of a battle to enjoy, which I guess, I say enjoy, we are in trouble. I don't know what the tyres are looking like for Logan Sargent, but I feel like we're probably on the weaker end of tyre life right now. So if we don't pass him and ditch him now, we're probably never going to do it. So that's going to be a real problem for us. Come on, Hulk, let's get through this. We just need to get past Logan Sargent. That's all I really ask. Please don't finish behind Logan Sargent. That would be preferable. Let's get DRS here. Let's get it done. We've got DRS. We're having a look, but honestly, the traction's not really there, is it? We are trying to get up the inside. I don't know if we're going to be able to take it and hold it. We are going to go for it. We're having a look. We've managed to make it stick for now. Second bite of DRS, hopefully to push ourselves clear of Logan. I'm going to push the ERS button because I don't know what else to do right now. And we'll see if he can build that gap to Sargent at the very least. It looks like we've managed that. That's fine. We'll go back to a neutral and see what happens there. We've had to let someone pass us. I don't know who that was. George Russell has now lapped us, which is beautiful. Exactly what we needed. We were racing with Russell earlier, and now we are having an absolute nightmare. My big fear now is that Kevin Magnussen's going to have destroyed all the new parts we had as well. So we're actually going to be going backwards, as well as not taking the extra sponsorship money, and as well as having financial issues. It's just kind of it's a bit of a struggle right now. I think that's all fair to say, and I think we just need to get through Spa and hope for the best. I don't know. I don't know if there's anything to gain from staying out there, to be honest. But we're gonna stick it out to the end just so we have at least one car finish. It is good for the sponsors to see a car finish, and you know we've made it to the end. For sure, I'm just gonna roll it through, and I'm gonna hand you over to Kroon and Crofty. So ironically, I said hand you over to Kroon and Crofty, and then I realised that we hadn't actually finished the race yet, because we're a lap down. My brain, sometimes, right, absolutely outstanding. This is not one of those times. Let's just roll it through. Let's see what we can do, and then I'll hand you over to Kroon and Crofty. How does that sound?
Kevin Magnussen, not going to be happy with how things unfolded today.
They'll be very disappointed to have had their race end early. No driver wants that to happen, but now they just have to look forward.
Well, Max Verstappen can add yet another podium to his already impressive record.
Win number 5 is in the bag. They pulled out all the stops, pushing hard to earn that victory.
And as far as those three are concerned, well, they'll be leaving Budapest hungry for more. Now, Karun, I'd be really keen to know, how do you think the Haas team will be reflecting on today's results?
Well, it was a bit of a mixed bag here. Some things went their way, but others didn't. I think their main target now will be finding some consistency for sure.
And that then marks the end of our time here in Hungary.
Next time, the teams will be adding another year to the legend of Spa-Francorchamps. Anything can happen at the Belgian Grand Prix.
Well, I think that's probably a fair statement from Kroon. We do need to find some consistency. It's not gone well for us at all there, really, has it? Well, we've got no points, we know that much. Let's see how badly that's hurt us in the Drivers' Championship. Luckily, Nico Hulkenberg hasn't dropped any points. It looks like hasn't dropped any positions. Looks like Kevin Magnussen's fairly secure in 12th at this stage in the season. Constructors-wise, though, that does put Alpine 2 points ahead of us, which is not what we were looking for. And we haven't got in the fastest pit stops despite getting all that practice today, so that's gone really well for us as well. I think it's safe to say that we have not had the best season of our lives this season. It was going really well, and I feel like it's not going well anymore. Without money, there's not a lot I can do to turn that around. We will have a bit of money or a bit less debt now. I don't know if that's actually going to give us any money in the bank per se, but it will give us less debt, and hopefully that will help. And if we do have some money, I'm going to be building some parts, but frankly, I don't know how well that's going to go for us. I can't. We have got some. Oh, we've got money. Okay, that has put us in the black. Good. Let's see how badly K-Mag has destroyed his car. First of all, the powertrain. Yet that gearbox has had it, so that's going to be a concern for next race. We'll put that in now. I will obviously change things up before we go into practice, but I am worried we'll have to take a new gearbox at some stage. We're probably, I just want to see what our best looking ERS could be an issue. Very soon, in fact, could be an issue, and engine wise, it's not looking good for the power. Okay, that's beautiful. Aero, he's just absolutely battered that car up. Okay, well, we are going to have to manufacture some stuff. Because we need them anyway, we're going to manufacture a couple of chassis. We'll have to do it on normal. When's the next race? 4 days. My word. Okay. Well, Kev, I guess you're using an old chassis for the next race, because I'm not going to get a new one on the car. That one is on car 1. In fact, because you can't keep your car on the track, you're going to get the older one, or the oldest one I have in there. There we go. Because you're incapable of keeping a car on track, so you're going to have to make do, I'm afraid. That's how that goes. I don't know why we're back to that screen. Let's go and see what we can do. Front wing missing. I don't think we're going to have the money to manufacture a new one, so that's going to be a problem for us. Can we manufacture one of those? Possibly. Or we can do one. Okay, we can get one done before the race, so we're danger close on parts. It's safe to say, I think. Oh, we've got to do it because we only have one front wing otherwise. So we are in trouble. Let's swap that one out. That should be fine. He's going to have to go back to the original spec as well. Good stuff. Well done, Kev. That's gone well. That's gone really well. We have none of our current suspension too, so that's going to be an issue for us to tackle when we have some more money. And that will go brilliantly. That's gone absolutely swimmingly. Underfloor, my word, do we not have any? Oh, we do have one. Good. Okay, I was slightly worried. And we'll swap that one out as well for, again, the bad suspension, the less good suspension. Because I cannot manufacture parts without money. So that's gone super well. Okay, guess we're going to spend the summer break rebuilding our car rather than doing anything else. We know the gearbox is in poor condition. We've just seen that. Car part inspection results, well, that says it all, doesn't it? We've destroyed a bunch of things. Who's the F3 driver talent we're looking at here? Franco Colapinto. They're in second place. We'll have a look. There's nothing to lose by having a look. He doesn't meet our we want an American driver kind of requirement, but we'll have a look at him anyway. Why not? Let's add him to our list of people to look at. And what else have we got in our inbox that's important? It says in debt. We're not actually in debt though, are we, bud? You need to maybe look at the accounts after the race. That's how that works. Any of our drivers looking good? Zane Maloney looking good. I think we're okay. Right, I'll wrap the episode there, guys. Thanks for watching. I have, as always, been chasing lately. Hopefully, in Belgium, we're going to dream the impossible dream and finish the race. That's the high hope I have. But in the meantime, thank you for watching. I have, as always, been Chasing Lonely. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, ring the bell, and I'll see you for next time, hopefully, where I'll be able to, coherently manage a race. That'll be beautiful. Anyway, I shall see you all very soon. Till next time, stay safe. Have a good one.